Oh, fighting games are tag fighters. They're all fighting games are tag fighters, all of them.
Yes.
You know, we knew there'd be a lot of news going into this one, but I wasn't expecting this. Like, I was anticipating, okay, we're going to get Street Fighter 6 Season 3, and we're probably going to get another Virtua Fighter 6 character. Maybe something else. I was not expecting, no, actually, two rather big game announcements. And the confirmation of that big Street Fighter, well, just Capcom Fighting Game Division in general leak, which leads to so many other questions.
Yeah, I mean, these past weeks have just been a lot of info that I should care about, but don't, really. Like, a lot of big things happened that do not concern me.
Yes. Yes, that has very much been the case. Street Fighter 6, Year 3 season characters, none of these are your types. Maybe you can pick up Ingrid for the meme, but that's about it.
Dude, I've played Ingrid. Like, I already have history playing Ingrid, so...
Yeah, but do you really think she'll be very similar to that in Street Fighter 6?
I barely remember what she played like, but maybe. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Like, Ingrid to me, like, we can get back to this later, because there's other news, but Ingrid to me, in Alpha, kind of felt like Karin. Where, like, she's unique. I don't know if she completely fits into the series, but, you know, she's unique.
Yeah.
And now all 15 Karin fans will hound my ass.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, first, 2 weeks ago, Unica.
Yes.
I know that... Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Like, if memory serves, which is usually the case, what happened was we recorded the last FGA, and then like 2 days later, this trailer came out, so that was nice.
Yeah, it is one though that can be a little bit less exciting than usual because, well, people had already been playing Unica.
Yeah.
Oopsie doodles.
So yeah, Unica is officially here. Then, Fantasy Rising Versus. They're still fucking talking about Galleon. Like, I think they've spent the last month or two talking about Galleon, and just like reintroducing them as a character, even though they're supposed to be added like not long from now, I think.
Okay, I have no knowledge of this, but this is like if you explained it, it'd be like...
I mean, I'm only noticing this because this is like the fourth FGA that we're doing, where I'm like, okay, Granblue news, alright, bless you. Granblue news, alright, it's Galleon, introducing Galleon. I thought we did this already. Like... So anyway, let's see. Honor and Impact got a demo. Posthumously.
It did. I've not played it. I won't play it because I don't care.
Fair enough. I forgot that the game was out, let alone had a demo. So, you know. Then, Capcom has banished games from Windows Live.
Yes, I did hear about that, and thereby making it impossible to play a couple games, right?
Yes, the Lost Planet games have some sort of bug near the end, where it looks up like an online server or whatever through games with Windows Live, and so that just crashes the game completely.
Excellent.
Consistently, stuff like that. Cross Tekken has no online mode or online functionality right now because it used to run through that. So, like, all 5 people who still tried playing Cross Tekken Online cannot anymore.
Well, that's unfortunate for them.
Yes, I mean, the hopes are that Capcom is, because, you know, these are just like, these are things, because most of these games are unlisted from what I can tell. And so, like, these are things that affect the people who already own the games. The hopes are that Capcom is trying to figure out a way to make these games function without games for Windows Live, and then release them on Steam. Maybe. Hopefully.
Well, the issue is that Bamco will hear about Capcom daring to modify Street Fighter Cross Tekken, a Tekken game which is not entirely embarrassing, and will go, "Did we just catch you having fun?" and whoop their asses.
Yeah. Then
Putting aside that bit of smartassery.
Then, there's gonna be a new action figure line based on Marvel 2.
Yes. So is that Shumagorath figure not the craziest?
Yeah. I like how this is like the only way that we can get whatchamacallit, Omega Red.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Also, the stands that they gave these characters, looking at the full lineup, and you know, they make sense, but like the pose that they chose for this this promotional image makes it look like Venom is surfing. So anyway, let's see. Alright, Idol Showdown is adding a new character.
I've never heard of this game.
Idol Showdown is a free-to-play VTuber fighting game that is allegedly okay. Maybe even good. I'm not sure.
Okay.
All I know is that it's free-to-play, it's VTuber based, based on, I think, HoloLive and something else. And you know, like, the people I have seen talk about it said that it's good, but then I don't know. You know?
Yeah.
I never played it.
I have a hard time being motivated to care about this.
All right.
I mean, it by all means, it's cool for people who are really into that, but VTubers, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really need my YouTubers to be anime.
Like, there's a couple VTubers I watch, but I watch them because I've watched them since before they became VTubers, and it's like, alright, so like after 10 years of watching this person, they become a VTuber. I'm not gonna just quit watching them because they're a VTuber now.
Yeah, though I lock my door so that no one can walk in and see me watching them.
Yeah. It's fine. Usually, this person in particular that I'm thinking of, like, they contribute to someone else that I watch. So like I hear them, but I don't see their model usually.
Okay.
It works out. Yeah. Then Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection.
Yes.
It is missing 4 games.
Is it now?
Yes.
What 4 games?
You know the ones.
I'm not sure.
Look deep in your heart. Look into the Kamidogu and you shall see.
Oh, do you mean the PS2 trilogy? Fuck.
Yes, NMK versus DC, which I'm just putting in there because it's funny.
Yeah, the 3D trilogy will probably come at a later date if it comes at all.
Yeah. But yeah, the MK Legacy Collection, I mean, locally, it should be fine. The people who are making this collection are the same people who made the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, so it will have rollback technically.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope they've improved some.
And like, yeah, that's basically it. That's basically my opinion on it. It's well, it is classic Mortal Kombat and 4, but it's also made by the people who did whatchamacallit, who did the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. And like, I have that Anniversary Collection. It's okay. I never played it online. I wonder why.
Stupid question, but have they revealed all of the ports that are in that?
I'm not sure. As far as I know, no. But I think it's supposed to have a like advanced combat, even maybe something like that.
Okay,
That's your 3D trilogy representation.
that would be pretty wild if they really go to the lengths of getting just about every port.
Yeah.
Especially if, and I've always mentioned this is something that I think would be a cute idea, is what if we get a version of Mortal Kombat Trilogy that doesn't have the notorious Shang Tsung loading?
Yeah. But yeah, like, maybe like locally, I would assume it will be good. It's the online aspects that will be questionable.
Yeah.
Then, Sony has announced that they're making a fight stick.
Yes. What do this be?
Project Defiant, apparently. Oh, it has no name. Yet.
Oh, okay.
They basically just announced, hey, here's a mock-up of what we want the fight stick to look like. We're working on it, I guess.
Oh.
And like, on one hand, there are a lot of fight stick options over there. On the other, Sony making one would mean that I could also buy a fight stick without having to import it.
Ooh.
Well, I did have a fight stick, but the problem with fight sticks over here is that sometimes, like once every 10 or so years, actually, once every 10 or so years, vendors will import fight sticks, but only the cheap ones, like the Mayflash F20 or whatever it's called. Like, none of the actual like fight sticks that you'd want to take to a competition. It's just stuff to get into it. And yeah, like I had one of those, but that broke, and I can fix it because it's a cheap one, and they're not built so that you can fix them, unlike the expensive ones.
Oof.
Yeah. So basically, I'm hoping, like, if Sony makes a fight stick, it's not gonna be repairable. I know this already. But at least I can buy one. which is a step above the others. Now, the one thing that really might be a problem with this, though, is that I'm not really in the market for a PS5, and they are saying it's a wireless fight stick, so I'm gonna wonder how you can plug it together with a PC.
Oh.
So that's gonna be interesting to find out. Assuming this actually gets finished at some point.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first big one. Marvel, Tokon, Fighting Souls.
Okay. What was your initial reaction to seeing this?
Nothing, honestly.
Okay. Okay, I was kind of wondering, like, Addie's probably just gonna go like, yeah, I don't care.
More or less. Like, it's... technically they have 3 of my boys in the video, because I like Doom, I like Spider-Man, I like Ghost Rider, although not this one. This one's design fucking puts me off, but,
Really? What about it?
He's lanky.
That's true, he is. I didn't think about that.
Like, I want my Ghost Rider to be built like a brick shit house, for some reason.
Maybe it's just me, but I love the muscle car thing so much, and I kind of like the I don't want to say common rider, but there's kind of like a anime hero look to the helmet, you know?
Yeah.
So this Tokon, of course, or Tukon,
It's Tokon.
It is Tokon, okay.
Yeah, because
Tokon, of course. Go ahead.
yeah, because the dash above the O, the first O, implies a long vowel, and the long vowel would be O.
Okay. So Tokon caught pretty well everybody by surprise. It's been known that the Arcs has been working on another Fighter Z sort of game for quite some time. Because I mean, come on, Fighter Z made all the money ever. Why would they not? But there seemed to be this expectation that it was going to be a One Piece game, which this isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, Miss Marvel is here, and she has kind of the same powers that Luffy does.
What do you mean?
Other than that,
what do you mean? One of the people I'm looking at on screen right now is Peter D. Parker.
Oh shit! All right, a lot of people were, I think, very much expecting cat hair. Excuse me. Very much expecting Marvel vs. Capcom 4 or 5 to roll around sometime soon. So for a lot of people, this very much caught them off guard, more so than just expecting Arxis to be working on something else. Has there been anything like with this big of a license, a big of a brand property going on in a while that hasn't been leaked?
I think. Well, I don't know if you count as this big of a license, but technically the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 collabs didn't get leaked.
Really?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Huh. All right. Well, I mean, this is, okay. I think people can figure out pretty quickly why this is crazy. But when I look at it, it looks really good to me. That's the simplest way to put it. I do really like the look of it. And the gameplay looks. The designs, I'm neither here nor there about. It's fine. But the gameplay looks really fun. It looks very much like Fighter Z, but the issue there, of course, is I liked Fighter Z. You didn't.
Yeah.
Which is probably going to be the theme of the day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then again, I think that's the theme of most of fighting games are. Is like, I think this is cool, and you just going, eh.
I mean, I think a part of the thing there too is that, like, I'm a fan of air dashers, not so much hyper fighters, which tech fighters are usually hyper fighters because they take after Marvel. And like, even though they are like sibling subgenres in fighting games, there is like just enough difference between them where I just don't vibe with them as much.
Yeah.
And then, like, when was the last fucking like straight up just air dasher that we got? Because like Uni and Melty got new games, but they're not really air dashers. They're like the step between grounded footsies and air dasher.
Yeah, they are.
And so, like, what was the last actual, like, you can just straight out say this is an air dasher? Because I don't know. It can't be Exert. I refuse to believe it's Exert. There has to be a newer game.
Oh, Central Fiction.
Central Fiction came out after Exert?
My memory is yes.
I'll check. I mean, either way, like, you know, like I feel like there has to be a newer game of that sort that has come out that isn't some like Dojin Fire, but maybe I'm wrong, I guess. Okay, so Blaze Blue is 2015. I think Exert is 2013, but I'll check.
I don't know when Revelator came out though, or Revelator 2 rather. It's actually kind of incredible that Guilty Gear was able to get so much support for so long, considering, like, relatively speaking, up until Strive, the series didn't sell very well.
Yeah. Okay, release date. 2017.
Okay, what about Central Fiction?
That was-
You used 2015, didn't you say?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, never mind then. So Exard Rev 2, no one else really makes air dashers.
Yeah.
It was kind of just Arxis's thing. I think, it's always the unfortunate thing of, like, trends, right?
Yeah.
Because trend-wise, like, it was very trendy to try and make footsies-based fighting games because it was thought that they were simpler to pick up and play. And now it's going conversely in the other direction. It's become trendy to make more advanced games, though still with a footsies base. Not a lot of air dashing going on.
Yeah.
Air dashers themselves have never been really all that trendy. And at the end of the day, devs tend to chase what's trendy because at the end of the day, they need to keep a roof over their heads. Does suck though. That is one thing is like, I am really glad to see Tokon here, and I'm really glad to see the Invincible fighting game spoilers, as well as the potential for the other game that was part of the Capcom League. But I am looking at all these tag fighters and going, boy, we went from 0 to 100 here, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that's the thing that, like, because I know you, I feel bad, like, well, it sucks for someone who doesn't like tag fighters that's going to be the theme of the next 2 or 3 years.
I mean, it also depends on the on how it's executed, because like Schoolgirls, like assists and all that, I'm not a big fan of. Tokon has the gimmick of changing on the fly, like Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 did. I could be down with that. The issue here that I don't know how much I want to be hyped for it because of, I guess, is just the controls, the game feel. Most tech fighters to me feel very disjointed. The characters feel simplified to a point where I don't really enjoy using them. And they really do this to push to the forefront that you should be using assists and shit, which I don't quite enjoy. But
yeah,
if they just make the characters feel complete without that, or you know, like aside from that, then I should be fine. Like I could enjoy it. Like really, my major qualms with like Fighter Z, for example, is that for one, it felt like the game took away my agency as a player because it was all fucking auto combos. And then when it wasn't auto combos, you use the super dash because why the fuck would you walk?
well, I would say that for the comparison to Fighter Z, Marvel Tokon is not going to have a super dash. Not like that, certainly. I do think they'll inevitably try to add some button to make Rushdown a little stronger, because I don't think they want to go with Marvel vs. Capcom style of zoning is really strong, keep away is really strong. The player who, if you're playing rushdown, either you need to have the right assists for it or you need to be really good with your movement.
Yeah.
I don't think they want that. They want to avoid that, and that's why Fighter Z has the super dash as just the hard counter to zoning. But, well, I guess you could say soft counter, because if you block super dash, you get basically a free big combo. But that's definitely the question with character design is, are we going to get characters that basically have 3 buttons? And are we going to go with early Fighter Z philosophy, or are we going to go with late Fighter Z philosophy? Because the later Fighter Z went on, the better a lot of characters' buttons got.
Yeah. And then, I'm thinking of, because there are tech fighters that I enjoy, gameplay wise. So if it builds on top of those somehow, which I somehow doubt, but if by some miracle it does, then I could enjoy Dokkan as well, because and you will see a through line here, I think, if you think about it. But the 2 tech fighters that I can point out as feeling like the characters are complete and stuff like that, the things that I'm missing from most of them are Schoolgirls or Marvel 1.
Yeah.
Marvel 2 to a lesser extent, but
One thing that I do think raises a question for what's the design philosophy going to be here is, what's the deal with them saying, oh, well, we know it can be a lot to learn 4 different character movesets, so we're going to make it perfectly viable to just play one character and have the other 3 as assists. Does that mean that they're just going to make it where all the characters on your team share the same health meter? Or does that mean they're going to have where you can choose from 2 different playstyles, or either play all 4 characters or play one character with 3 assists?
Ratio select.
Well, there's no way we go back to ratio select. Even though ratio select is the perfect solution to the system, it's the sort of thing that the marketing boys look at and go, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to beat you to death.
Yeah. I would pop, though.
Oh, God. Well, the ratio system is obviously the best for it. And it's great for these superhero games, because why shouldn't I be allowed to play ratio for Thanos? Logically, he should be able to take on 4 other characters.
I mean, these motherfucking superheroes should be on the lookout when ratio for Haomaru enters Dokkan.
I want ratio for Daredevil. Throw up against me all the guys with actual powers, and I'm just gonna be a blind lawyer kung fu dude.
Yeah. But yeah, because graphics wise, looks wise, it's Arxis. It looks good. But
yeah,
I couldn't let myself be too hyped, because once again, the gameplay it is gonna be Fighter Z. That's what I expect. If I want to be shitty to them, then I could say, oh, cross tag. And I mean, it depends. Do we know which team this is? But
I don't think it is known, but it looks a lot like the Fighter Z team and not like the cross tag team.
But that's the thing, though, because Team Red made Fighter Z and Team Blue did cross tag, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Team Blue even exists anymore. I think they after Blaze Blue Man left, I forget his name, but after he left, I think they got folded and then just became Team Green, something like that. But if it is Team Blue, what remains of them, then there is a non-zero chance that it is cross tag again, which would be disastrous.
Oh yeah, that would be a mess. I think to a certain degree they'd get away with it more than cross tag did, because these are not characters with pre-existing Arxis movesets. But even still, I do think that the majority of players, casual or hardcore, would look at the massively reduced movesets of cross tag being applied to the Marvel characters and go,
Yeah. I also saw.
We're gonna have. Oh, go ahead.
I also saw someone suggest, wouldn't it be funny if they do a crossover And just to make it like old times, there's one guest character, and it's fucking Akuma, because he was in Marvel Superheroes. And like,
Nah.
I don't see that happening because like Capcom's working on Marvel 5, we think.
So do we want to hit that? Because with Tokon, I'm not sure there's much more to say other than I'm excited to see what the gameplay looks like, but let's hope it's good. And other than that, just going like, well, I mean, it looks neat graphically, but we'll have to see how it actually is, and it's not unlikely to be Addy's type regardless.
Yeah. And I'm hoping for I'm hoping for CBT. Yeah. I'm hoping they do an open beta, because Arxis usually does this, and like we could probably check it out during the open beta. 2 parsec, because
but that open beta will be 6 months away.
Yeah. So yeah, well, the next topic in the newsfeed is Street Fighter 6 Season 3. I don't know if you want to hit the leak before that or after that, because it has ties to both.
I guess we could start with as the transitionary point between Marvel and Street Fighter. So all we need to say about Street Fighter 3 Season 3 for Street Fighter 6 Season 3 for this next topic is that it doesn't confirm the leaks. I did accidentally say confirm the leaks. A leak is never confirmed until everything's out. But it lends further to a leak that came out some time ago, which said there's going to be an Arxis Marvel fighting game.
Yeah, I can read it out if you
Season 3
want.
is going to be these characters. Oh, go ahead.
I can read the leak out if you want. But yeah, so usually we don't deal in leaks because whatever, but there's some clearance to this, from what we can tell.
Yeah.
And like usually if I come across a leak, I just go, okay. But if it seems somewhat usually, like, I feel like we've talked about leaks before, but I usually bring it up as like, okay, let's discuss this like it might happen. But there's also like a fucking, I don't know, like an entire table full of salt behind me while we talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. So, the leaks are that Arxis is making a Marvel fighting game. It should be revealed in the next 2 months, which I don't know when this leak came out. That was not true. Should be out by end of year. Probably not real.
Nope. They said 2026.
So yeah. I mean, I'm assuming that these leaks were also like, because I think these leaks are tied to the NVIDIA stuff, so it might have been hit by COVID. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But yeah, Street Fighter 6 Season 2. Because this was before Season 2. So, Season 2,
okay.
that the characters that they found were, Bipson, Sagat, Viper, Elena, Alex, Terry, and Mai. And then they also wrote that the latter two are in collaboration with City of the Wolves, which was true.
It was, yes.
And all of these characters are here. The only character missing from this list is Ingrid, and she was in a separate leak that I came across. Then, Marvel 5 will be announced next year and out in 2026. Okay, so this was 2024. At the earliest, or whatever, at the latest.
Yeah. So, why would Marvel make the decision, fuck it, let's just have 2 competing fighting games of the same variety?
2 kicks.
Starring our like, yeah, if we are assuming that these leaks are accurate, if we are assuming that these leaks are accurate, which it's more fun for us to pretend they are. So why would Marvel do that?
I don't know. I think they assumed. Like, there's a part of me that thinks like because of what they said during the announcement thing for Tokon. I think Marvel assumed that Arc Sys would make an air dasher, and Capcom would make Marvel. And Marvel didn't look into Arc Sys not really making air dashers anymore, and also being able to make Marvel. So now we're getting 2 Marvels instead of 1.
Would Marvel even know the difference?
I'm not entirely certain, but also I think during the announcement that they also said that it was a later, well, relatively later idea for it to be a 4v4 tech fighter. Which,
Yeah.
So it might have been a thing, like either A, they wanted Arc Sys to make a 1v1 superhero fighting game that was an air dasher, or similar, and then also have Capcom make Marvel 5, and we're getting 2 Marvels now. Or Marvel 5 was canned internally, and then they went up to Arc Sys and went, okay, make Marvel 5.
Yeah. That could also very much be the case.
Like those are
Do you think, considering the possibility of all this going on, that if Marvel 4 or 5 is still in development, there would be a pivot?
To what? Like that's the thing. Like I don't know what they would pivot to.
I don't know either. I don't know if Capcom would be like, all right, it's time for us to make a Marvel footsies game.
All right, it's time to make Darkstalkers 4 with Marvel characters.
No, that's not happening.
Yeah. Again, I almost want Capcom to go fuck it and then make a fucking 1v1 air dasher. Because it would be funny. Like if the Marvel 5 project is still alive, I mean,
Yeah,
that would be the easiest thing for them to pivot to.
Oh shit.
So yeah, like, yeah, I'm trying to think, but like, I don't know why. Like, maybe, like, it's one of those things where like I'm trying to think of like what the corporations would how the corporations would make sense of this, and like the only other thing that I can come up with is that maybe they figured that Capcom would go more realistic, and so so Marvel 5 would appeal to the Western market, and Tocom would appeal to the Eastern market more.
I suppose so.
But aside from that, I don't know why the fuck they would get 2 games made of the same style by 2 different companies.
I mean, I can't complain about more games, but it's pretty nuts,
Yeah. And then the final bit of the leak is CVS3 is Capcom's next fighting game after MVC5.
Okay. That's the one that's like, that one makes sense. It is a surprise to see Capcom, the idea of Capcom deciding to do anything that isn't Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Because one has definitely got the feeling that, like, how much money it takes to make a game these days, that Capcom has just told their fighting game division, fuck it, we just do Street Fighter. We can't afford to do anymore.
Yeah, I mean, maybe my hopes are, which, like, I'm not sure how feasible it would be for Capcom right now, but my hopes are that they realize, okay, we can't get fucking real, like, S-Jiggle Ryu into every game because he takes a lot of money and a lot of time to make. So what if we make a game that looks a bit worse, but we can... But we can make more game.
CVS 3, but we've still got the CVS 1, CVS 2 philosophy of fuck it, the sprite will pull over. all the SNK stuff is new, but the Capcom stuff we're just pulling from wherever.
Yeah.
So we got Street Fighter 6 Ryu and Chun and Ken and Geef and
Except for
Cammy.
Hakan.
Right next to Street Fighter 4 Hakan and Street Fighter 5 Laura.
Morrigan in her sprite.
I was going to joke about Saddam doing that, but sure. Or Sodom, whatever. Oh god, I've made the name worse.
Yeah.
The newest Street Fighter, Saddam Hussein.
Yeah. His critical art is putting you in his dumpster. But yeah, like I would be fine with like less fidelity models and shit like that, with no jiggle physics or like understated ones, because that's easier to make and less costly.
Yeah.
Especially if it meant that they can make more characters. Like, if CVS3 was given a budget of like, all right, make one season of Street Fighter 6 characters and make the entire game with that budget, I think you could make an all right like AA fighting game out of that. All right, the next Darkstalkers is gonna be made on a Monster Hunter hat. I don't know how expensive it is to make those.
I think it's safe to say, however much money Capcom is willing to throw at any game, they'll throw at Monster Hunter. So you can judge from there.
Yeah. But yeah, like, assuming that, like, here's the thing though, yeah. Okay, this was written before City of the Wolves came out though. So, what do we think are the possibilities of Capcom still wanting to work together with SNK after Ronaldo?
I don't think it's Ronaldo that would do it, but I could see it being City of the Wolves did not work out well.
I mean, yeah, I'm just tying the cause of the issue, or a cause of the issue, to it, because like Capcom, I would assume, would be scared off by City of the Wolves failing. Why did City of the Wolves fail? A couple of things, but one of the big major symptoms was Ronaldo. So like, do you think that Capcom would still want to collaborate with SNK on a CVS3 now that City of the Wolves is basically dead?
Yeah, I think they would.
Okay.
I think at the end of the day, it has to be understood that while SNK, when they do their own stuff, is always going to be to some degree obscure, people are happy to see Terry in games that aren't made by SNK.
Yeah, true. And then also, Capcom did actually tease CVS3, by the way.
Really?
Yes. Let me see if I can pull it up. But in the, how they did the comic for the Fighting Collection 3?
Nope. Well, yes, and they've released a comic with Marvel Collection as well. So what's up with that?
Yeah. So, the last 2 pages of the one for Fighting Collection 3 is this. Once I can send it. Oh. This.
Give me just a moment.
And I mean, it's not like fucking CVS3 is coming tomorrow. It's not one of those. But they are, like, it is a light hinting at it.
Yeah.
So for the viewers, I shall describe it. Kyo and Ryu are in a fight. It's a double KO. Kyo goes, man, that fucking sucks. We did this whole tournament and no one won. I don't want it to end like this. And Ryu says, well, it doesn't have to. End comic. And so, it's once again, it's one of those things where, like, it doesn't mean that they like, it doesn't mean that you're getting a CVS 3, but it does mean that they're considering it,
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hopeful for maybe CVS 3 sometime, maybe 2027, probably.
If we were assuming that Marvel was ever a thing that was happening, I would not assume 2027. I would go 2028, 2029 at the earliest.
I guess it depends on how they support it, and also whether or not it's like infinite. Holy shit!
Yeah, I'd like to say Capcom learned their lesson about Infinite, or at least current
Hopefully.
Capcom management. The cycle of things is that eventually there will be new management, and the new management won't have any of the lessons of the old management. But I don't think that's come around yet.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Street Fighter 6 Season 3.
So, yeah, again, like, wow, today is just the news of, like, this stuff that I'm interested in, I'm curious about, and, like, none of this is for Addy. So, well, even then, it's like, I dabble with Sagat. Ingrid, don't care, don't like her. I'm not a magical girl character, don't like it. Sea Viper, I'm happy for Pink, but I've never dug in on Sea Viper. I've never been a big, I don't know, maybe it's just me. She's always felt like one of Capcom's, I don't know, it's just always felt like Capcom was a little too overly proud of the character.
Yeah. Yeah, the like fucking, whatchamacallit, the like 2016 to 2019 Roman Reigns problem.
Not that bad, but like 2010 Drew McIntyre,
Yeah.
where it's like, this is clearly a chosen one, but at least they're not showering him with gold.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Alex, though, is a little bit one of my favorites, so pretty happy to see him here. That's a pleasant surprise. I kind of figured because he was so awful in Street Fighter V that people were just going to be like, nope, don't want him ever again. Leave him out. So, happy to see him here.
Yeah.
More than anything else, I'm really quite happy there are no crossover characters. Which may sound weird because a lot of the crossover characters are really exciting. But I did not want Street Fighter to turn into a series where people just don't want to see the vanilla characters. Where's the guest characters, right?
Yeah. That's like Terry and Mai, like, they could have set a precedent, but at the same time, Terry and Mai, like, honestly, most of the main KOF casts are like 50% already Street Fighter people. So like,
Yeah.
like, putting them into the games is fine. Like, genuinely, King of One is one of my favorite KOF characters. If they put Kim into the game, I would be raising my eyebrows, because he doesn't fit into Street Fighter.
Yeah.
But like, you take any of the actual like main characters from the KOF or Fatal Fury, you take fucking. Well, I guess it depends on which era of main characters though, because like, you put Ash Crimson into Street Fighter, he would feel out of place. No, it's only Terry, Mai, Kyo and Iori, and like Leona, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
But Leona is kind of pushing it.
Yeah.
That to me feel like they are at home in Street Fighter. Like, I talk about Rugal, but Rugal is like Rugal would fit into Street Fighter the same way Akuma fits into Tekken 7. Like, I have an off-screen rivalry with this guy. He's here now. Like, Rugal is not a character that can exist in the Street Fighter universe. Well, he can exist, but he cannot know the people of the Street Fighter universe closely.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, Kyoyori, Terry, and Mai, I can see perfectly fine. Just like I can see Mai and Chon just hanging out.
Yeah.
And that's what sets them apart to me.
You can see Mai and Chun pressing their boobs against each other.
Yeah, being angry.
Bike.
Oh no.
I know you're trying to get on the same wavelength I am.
All I heard is Baiken, and I don't like, triangle.
Oh boy. I'm not sure there'd be enough space in the picture.
I'm sure Pink could find some some spot.
And Chun's not even that big, relatively.
Yeah. I mean, 2/3 of the picture would be Baiken.
Oh yeah. She would just show up and send them the other two flying.
Yeah.
Well, with Mai, it's also worth questioning which KOF game is this? Which game is this Mai from?
Yeah.
Because like 98 or 02 Mai, classic Mai, small actually, relatively speaking, but like smaller than Chun. But 13 Mai.
But yeah, like also I saw one funny thing recently where people were discussing City of the Wolves, and someone said, I bought City of the Wolves, but I don't play it anymore because I really like Terry and I really like Mai, and I tried playing them and they felt incomplete. So I went back to playing them in Street Fighter 6.
Yep.
And like
perfect.
And I saw it and I went, yep, CVS is back.
Yep. Some shit never changes.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what it is that makes it so Capcom can just make the most complete feeling version of the SNK characters.
You know, I don't really know. I guess it's to a certain degree. SNK at a certain point kind of feels like they just add moves for the sake of moves. And then get rid of moves for the sake of getting rid of moves.
Yeah, and also I feel like there's also a thing there of like Capcom very rarely, if ever, makes moves for outside characters. But otherwise, it's just like, here's every move that this character has ever been shown to have. But with SNK, it's their character, so they just add and remove moves however they feel like. Well, Capcom
yeah.
Like Capcom might have a thing of like, we need to show these characters with everything that they've ever been shown to have.
Yeah, CVS 2, like, there was, definitely some moves missing from any character. King was notoriously missing quite a few. There's a reason she's regarded as the worst character in CVS 2. But like, it wasn't to the degree Terry's at in Street Fighter 6, where it's like, they even got the fucking slide into super kick combo. What the fuck?
Yeah. Like, I will always have my opinions about Power Dunk being relegated to a combo that you can't hit in a match. But aside from that, like, they have everything.
Terry's pretty fucking good in Street Fighter 6. Or, excuse me, he's not... I don't know about tier list, but in terms of, like, feeling good, Terry's pretty fucking good feeling in Street Fighter 6.
Tier list wise, Terry debuted at the bottom, and he remains there, apparently.
Which is funny, because isn't Mai, like, in the complete opposite direction?
Yes.
Isn't Mai, like, super high tier? Oh,
yes.
Wow. Nice.
But yeah, like... Yeah, go ahead.
Nope. I didn't have anything to say.
Okay. But yeah, like, I'm happy for the two of you to get characters, because, like, Pink has Viper, you have Alex. Sagat is here, I guess. Like, the character that the character that I could look forward to the most is Ingrid out of this slot. And like, do I look forward to Ingrid? It depends. But also, it's gonna be like a year until she's here. And really, I think that's like, we talk about the where Capcom delivers content and all that a lot, but I feel like that's also partially why I'm like I don't know if saddened is the right word, but like, you know, I'm not disappointed by this season lineup. I'm not saddened by it, but I'm something close. And a part of the reason why is that, like, if this were any other fighting game, these characters would come out in 3 months or like 5, and then there would be a new season, assuming they make money. With Street Fighter, I have to wait a year.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it's fine, but how many years does the game have left? Is the question then.
I would bet 2. My bet is that they'll end up with 5 seasons. I could be somewhat wrong. We could end up with 4, because it's been said before that Street Fighter 5 was only meant to have 4 seasons. But I don't know. Street Fighter 6 is a big success, and its DLC sells, you know?
Yeah. And so yeah, like that's my main thing of, like, you know, not only is there a lot of weight between the characters, which is one thing, like, you know, all of these things, most of these things are understandable because production.
Yeah.
Like, have you looked at these characters? What?
They're made of money.
Yes. But like, you know, it's not only is there a lot of weight between characters, but also it like, you know, last season I didn't really get any characters that were particularly speaking to me, even though, like, I love Maya and Terry, but, you know, hey Pink.
Hi, are you doing the podcast for fighting games?
Yes.
Good. I stepped in here to emphasize C Viper, and now I'll step out.
Okay.
We're talking about her right now, more or less.
Oh.
Yeah.
Impeccable timing.
Yeah. So Pink, I guess I'll move on to that since you're here. Capcom did release full art of all of the season 3 characters.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So we can discuss those. Let's go in order.
Oh, are they in chat?
Yeah.
Are they in the open chat?
It will be,
chat,
yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So first, Sagat, because it's Sagat. I don't think we'll talk about him for a long time.
Nothing fancy going on there, really. I know what Sagat looks like. He's the one with an eye patch, but this doesn't look much different from what I'm used to seeing. So I guess he's got more bandages around his arms and legs now, but that looks pretty standard.
Yeah, I think he has like a shirt on, or like the waist wrapping, more waist wrapping than he usually does. And he does look a bit more disheveled, I guess. Or like Wilder.
The model,
not easy being dead.
The model from the the model from the little bit of gameplay we got to see of the trailer, he actually looks quite a bit skinnier and more wrinkled than usual.
Yeah, I also saw that they moved his knees back down to his chin, so it's Street Fighter 1 Sagat, we know. He's back from the dead. Just like every other user of Ansatz can. Even the person I killed didn't actually die.
Yep. All right, next up.
Yeah, Viper.
Okay, I'm curious to see Viper's full art. There you go. Okay.
Nice.
We couldn't see her from the waist down in the reveal trailer. The skirt is a surprising change from the old pantsuit she would wear in 4.
Yeah, I'd be fine with this. I don't like the skirt. Like, that is the one point that I don't like in this design.
I think skirts and any type of like dresses, capes, jackets, things like that, it does tend to get kind of it's a lot of times it doesn't translate well to fighting games. Like Cammy's got her outfit 3, which I believe is a big ass jacket.
Yeah.
And it looks cool, but it's something I myself will probably not ever buy, just because I don't think the jacket would look nice when she's doing her Cammy drills.
Yeah.
And for me, like, a part of the thing is that, like, you know, unless they completely change how she plays for some reason, like, a lot of Viper's movesets aren't doing the splits, so why would she wear a skirt?
That's a good point.
To show off her legs and to tease the possibility of seeing her fucking panties.
Wow.
It's just that simple.
I mean, I get it, but just from like from a woman's point of view, like why the fuck would you wear a skirt if like what you're planning to do is do the splits?
Maybe she's an exhibitionist.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Maybe
Not
she's a
yet,
pervert.
anyway. Maybe she'll do a Lacey Evans and she'll just tear the skirt off when she goes into battle.
That'd actually be kind of sick.
Yeah. God, they'll set it up so she and Judy are in a lesbian relationship.
They already are coming close to that.
Yeah. All right.
I do wonder how much of this art do you think is like how much of this outfit do you think is going to be translated directly into the character model, and how much is just extraneous extra for the illustration? Because
They'll do as much as they can.
Flying around with the jacket as a cape, or is the cape jacket just there for accentuation?
No, judging by how the other art has been, she's gonna wear the jacket on top of her shoulders for the entire match.
All right, that's impressive.
It's a real talent, honestly.
Yeah, like, especially when she does flips for the entire match.
Yeah, because she's definitely still gonna have that Street Fighter 4 Super where she's doing fucking flaming cartwheels upwards.
Yeah. Then Alex. Now I would say that out of all of these redesigns, this is the winner.
It's pretty strong, though. Alex looks like a goof for painting his face paint to continue onto his stupid little beanie.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that.
Oh yeah,
it's like that was actually the first thing I noticed, and I wasn't sure if I loved it or hated it.
Does Alex before every fight have to look in the mirror to make sure that it's lined up properly so that he's not got the beanie slightly askew?
Yes.
And the lightning bolts are just off somewhere else? Also, he's got the Perros del Mal logo on his fucking knees.
I like it. So honestly, it's a good look. I don't love the beanie. I'd prefer like the old school headband that I think he had.
Yeah.
Or just no headgear at all. I think the beanie kind of detracts from the look.
I think they're trying to move him farther away from being just Hulk Hogan.
That could be, brother.
But yeah, like
I think they're trying to move him further away from French fry hair.
That too, yeah. But yeah, like this outfit
you want to know
what?
You want to know a funny thing, by the way?
Yeah.
What was that?
I saw Street Fighter 5 on sale on PC, $20 for everything. And I was like, I already own it on PlayStation. But I feel like getting it on PC for convenience's sake. And I feel like playing Alex, and he's never getting added to Street Fighter 6.
Capcom saved you. Capcom moved the $20 to somewhere else.
That they did.
But yeah, like I feel like I think that this is the best design because it's very reminiscent of her. Wow. Okay. Anyway, so it's very reminiscent of his.
Flashbacks, guys. Give him a little bit.
Yeah.
The war.
It's very reminiscent of his classic design, while still having some things. It also might just be because like I don't know about y'all. This fit reminds me of Kraven the Hunter.
I can see that.
Yeah. Huh. I appreciate the decision to go like in an entirely different direction with Alex's look in this game, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit weird to see Alex not wearing green, but black does suit him as well.
Yeah. He's heel now.
And of course,
Hollywood.
That might be the case.
Hollywood Alex.
Hollywood Alex. Oh God, hang on, what's the lyric from Voodoo Child? Cut down a mountain with the edge of my hand.
Oh,
Considering that Alex loves to throw out the chops, that actually works better for him than for Hogan.
yeah.
Okay, Alex's match start pose should totally be him doing the air guitar.
Yes.
On a title belt that as soon as he's done, he just throws it off screen.
Yes.
Yeah, there's Alex spray painted on it at the front.
Yep.
And then
New Alex order in AO.
yeah, and then
New Alex order.
and while he's doing the air guitar, he says, "You know what? I was gonna try it for Metallica, brother." And then
Okay.
finally, Ingrid. Now, I said that Alex was the winner. Ingrid is the loser of this match.
They made Ingrid look like an alien.
I think that was on purpose. She is supposed to be.
It feels like with her design, they wanted to keep some idea of how it was originally, but they wanted to move her away from just looking like Karine.
Yeah. And I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like the dress is a bit too frilly. Like the cape or whatever the fuck is just too much for her.
Okay, and you said the dress. I was like, the dress is actually quite straight, but yeah, the little frilly cape thing she's got going on. Yeah, I can see that. That's something that really depends on how it looks in game rather than in art, for sure.
But like, I think I'll get a picture of Ingrid's full art if I can find one.
Oh, you said full art. I thought you said flart. I was like, what the fuck is that?
What's a flirt? Do I want to know?
Oh, shit.
Y'all, I just wrote Ingrid Street Fighter. Crazy hamburger.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Are those things that she has up in her hair, those buns she has up in her hair, her like hair, oh god, like scrunchies or whatever, are those not supposed to be like considered like the source of her power, and Bison stole one of those to make the Psycho engine?
I don't know. Let's check that. Let's check whatever that was. What has been retconned super bad.
Yeah, because Street Fighter Alpha, like Max Upper whatever, Ingrid's story was supposed to be that she was getting it back from where Bison used it for the Psycho engine. But like, you know, were people really looking for it to turn out that, oh, by the way, Bison's actually just a little bitch comparative to this anime schoolgirl goddess?
Yeah. But I sent her old design, and like, I don't know, I like it better. I like the colors better.
The colors on the old design definitely pop a lot more. Overall though, I'm more keen on this new design.
Yeah, the old design's too similar to Ingrid for me, and on top of that, I do kind of appreciate the alien look because it at least emphasizes somewhat that she's not normal.
A person, yeah. She's a genetic freak.
She's not exactly. I gotta say, I've been seeing people go like, "Hey, actually, she's not that bad," and it's like, no, she is.
Don't kid yourselves.
Don't kid yourselves.
I was always fine with Ingrid, but then I just treat her like I treat her arcade endings with the same credence as I do martial laws.
Yeah, well, at that point, you treat all the Tekken arcade endings with no credence.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I was looking at this design, just a little bit upset that they didn't keep the big ass bow tie in any meaningful way. Then I had a genius idea of like, what if they gave her like a cape of some sort, and the cape is in the shape of her big ass bow tie? I think that would be a winner.
Maybe. Oh, one thing that I look at that I am missing between the two designs that I think really makes a difference is her hair being out.
Yeah, I'm the complete opposite way. I actually vastly prefer for her hair to be up. I think her hair being down, I don't know, it makes her look a little bit too much like other Street Fighter girls, you know?
I think that's the key factors that I'm seeing. I've no experience whatsoever with Ingrid, but seeing the old design, to me, that looks like a character that I could find across basically any fighting game ever, probably. It's nothing about it screams anything too unique. Like, if you told me that's from Guilty Gear, I'd believe you. If you told me that's
No,
from
you
Street
wouldn't.
Fighter,
She doesn't have enough belts.
oh, that's true. Okay, fair enough. Maybe not Guilty Gear, but if you told me that's from like trying to think of any other franchise, wherever Terry's from,
KOF.
Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, Ingrid's old design to me just looks like any character that I would see in any other fighting game that we've ever played on one of the fightcades.
Yeah.
Nothing about it really slaps me in the face and says, "I'm original. I'm unique. I belong in
She ain't.
immediate franchise we're talking about right now." It's like that one's kind of something that you could put her in any franchise and I'd believe it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing though. Like I wouldn't say that she was unique.
Ingrid's in a funny place where, like, in the Japanese popularity polls, she's always like number 2 or number 3. Like, number 1 will probably be Ryu, but number 2 or number 3 will probably be Ingrid. And in the United States, if they did popularity polls in the United States, Ingrid would be bottom, the bottom one every time. Like, this is one of those explicitly regional characters where this is a character archetype that one region despises and the other region loves. And Capcom for the last fucking 20 years has decided to just go on the American side and play it safe and leave Ingrid out. But they have finally went, oh, fuck it, we gotta appease the Japanese side at some point. And the argument I saw was like, well, Ingrid's unique because, you know, she's not a big muscular kung fu man. She's a magical girl. And it's like, well, buddy, most of the, no, well, not most, but a lot of the Street Fighter cast actually isn't big muscular kung fu man. Like, what's Cammy?
Yeah.
What is Dawson?
What is Dawson?
Rubber boy.
What is Blanca?
What is Blanca?
What are frogs?
Gay usually. Nowadays anyway.
But yeah, like Ingrid to me, her appeal as a character was just like Ingrid has always felt to me like she's an SNK character that accidentally got left in Capcom for some fucking reason.
Well, that's the other thing is that, like, apparently it's fairly popular with a lot of fighting game vets to say, why is she here? We could just get Athena. Just get Athena from SNK.
No. God.
Yes.
Fuck it, go all the way. See with Paula. I'll agree to that. Clown shoes.
Oh, shit. All right, yeah. So the Street Fighter 6 Season 3 is going to be, you know, it's solid for me, solid for Pink. Addy is like, meh. Thank you for dropping in, by the way, Pink.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure.
We'll probably now move on to things you don't give a shit about.
Properly hyped for Sea Viper, and yeah.
I don't know
if that's all the Sea Viper discussion we'll have today. You can feel free to boot me from the call.
I mean, the next topic, and the last topic for this podcast, from what I can tell, is Invincible.
Are you sure about that?
Let me check again.
Well, hold on, because there's one you may have forgotten about, but one that we always do when they reveal the season passes and DLC.
All right, who do you hope for next?
Who you want next?
All right, let me list them off. You'll be surprised. Rugal. There's four different versions of Rugal. Fuck it.
There are 3 Rugals in history. They'd have to make a new one.
Oh, there's a version of I forget if it's Omega Rugal or regular, but one of them has a separate version, and the only difference between the two is one gets the Kaiser Wave and the other one doesn't. They can be separate characters.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would quick Google search of hottest Street Fighter characters in history, and
Laura,
I will
you want
base
Laura.
Laura. Yeah, you want Laura, you want Mika.
Oh yeah, Mika. I forgot. Well, I didn't forget, but I forgot she was part of the Street Fighter franchise.
You want Hakan. Or one of Hakan's daughters, more likely.
He does not want Hakan's daughters unless they reveal that Hakan's actually got one daughter that's way older. Hakan's daughters are like a horde of like a dozen 8-year-olds.
Sounds horrifying.
When was Street Fighter 4? Because I would assume that they would be older by now.
Well, Street Fighter 4 was, oh god. Okay, it was after 2. It was before 5.
And it was before 3 too.
Ken definitely had his son by the time of 5. I'm pretty sure Ken had his son by the time of 4. And he would have been like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old. He looked like a child and not a toddler. So considering that Ken's son is now probably like, I don't know, 10 years old, I would say a 6-year time difference between Street Fighter 4 and 6.
Okay, yeah, not enough.
Thank God for Ken having a kid. That's the only way we can keep track of time in the fucking Street Fighter universe.
Yeah.
Then again, it comes to mind, isn't Guile's daughter like a teenager in Street Fighter 6?
Yes.
Okay, well, I forget. Did Guile already have his daughter by the time of Street Fighter 2?
Yes, I think so.
Because Ken's kid, who the name escapes me, was supposed to be born after Street Fighter 2 because the gimmick was that he promised he wouldn't have a kid until he beat Ryu. And he beat Ryu at some point in Street Fighter 2. Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, yeah.
But yeah.
Who knows? I mean, Hakan, maybe they just didn't show the full family. We don't need to get into time shenanigans. It could just be like, oh, that's Hakan's. I mean, Hakan looks like he's somewhere in his 40s to 50s. We can just say, like, oh, here's my first daughter. Here is my first daughter. I had her many years before I just got really horny and had 12 more all in a row.
Yeah.
I just got all oiled up and my wife was like, bring it here.
But yeah.
Pink's got to be even more confused not having the context for Khan as a character hearing me say that.
Yeah. Like, Pink, if they give Hakan a daughter that is of age, then it would be a woman wrestler who oils herself up during the match to grapple you. And her grabs are squeezing you.
That does sound pretty cool. Wait, what?
Gotta think of it. Hakan's already kind of a horny character, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, like, Hakan's grabs, all of Hakan's grabs are basically like just grabbing you and then squeezing you.
Oh, God. Oh, my God, if they made a female Hakan.
Yeah.
People, it would sell so much money.
Dude.
I am thinking of all of Hakan's moves, but as a chick doing them.
Dude. Imagine. Zangief is healed now, right?
No?
Oh, I thought he was healed, that's why he has the pants.
I don't recall that coming up in the Street Fighter 6 story.
But either way, whatever. Alex is healed. He's the leader of the NWO. They bring in Mika. She's also wearing black. She's also a member of the NWO. She broke up with her tech partner, and her new tech partner is Hakan's daughter.
Oh, God. So wait, like, Are Zangief and Mika the Steiners and Mika's Scott and Zangief's Rick?
Yeah, sure.
Oh shit. Alright. Well,
At some point, Zangief will have a little gay baby, and the gay baby will succeed. The family name.
That caught me off guard real bad. It's the way you pronounce this real pee. Like I thought you were gonna go into an Iron Sheik promo. Zangief first man have pee from ass. His name's stupid Zangief ass pee. Oh shit.
So yeah, I don't know who wants to start with their list. I guess.
Well, they removed Alex from mine, so that cleans my list up. Let's see. I want Dudley, G, Laura, and Mika or Makoto. Mika or Makoto. Mika or Makoto. Fuck. You know what? They're gonna fuck it. This is the fan service pack. Our Mika.
I dig it.
All right.
Nothing sexier than Dudley and G.
Yeah. Well then. Zach, I don't even remember what my list used to be. Adon?
Yeah, I was about to say you had 8 on.
Uh,
Oh, don't mind that. 8 on, Gin.
yeah. Like I could say Dudley because I like Dudley. Who doesn't like Dudley?
Dudley's just a guaranteed cool archetype. Gentleman Boxer is always fun, and his moveset being... The great thing about Dudley isn't just he's the Gentleman Boxer archetype, it's that they designed him to contrast with Balrog, where Balrog is one big hit, one big punch. Dudley is Dempsey rolling and rapid fire, just punching you up from top to bottom.
Yeah. But yeah, like I almost don't want to say Dudley just so we have like a wider net.
Dudley's the one that I think is pretty well guaranteed to see in Street Fighter 6 before it's over. I think Makoto's pretty likely too.
Hopefully you're right.
They feel like they fit Street Fighter 6's themes, you know?
Yeah.
Also, Dudley's just too cool to skip 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
Like, he's too iconic to skip 2 games in a row as well. Like, for the longest time, one of the things that was known about Street Fighter was, oh, Dudley's Rose Taunt. Can you kill somebody with it?
Yeah.
Steal their soul.
Eagle?
Ooh, Eagle's a winner. And Eagle's one that would catch people somewhat off guard in the same way that Ingrid has. Of like, wow, they remembered they have that character?
Yeah. I mean, Eagle's already referenced a lot in World Tour. That works for him.
Yep.
He could join the roster and be gay with Zangief.
I was about to say, do they have the balls to put Eagle and Poison in the same season?
Ooh, spicy. Maybe.
For the first time ever, we're going to be releasing 2 characters in June.
Yeah.
Eagle's at the end of season 4, Poison's at the start of season 5. There you go.
Yeah.
Eagle releases June 1st, Poison releases June 30th.
Who could be the last one? Fuck. Fuck it. Rolando. I don't know.
All right. Pank.
Well, it's me, so and I'm not aware of all the hot babes in the franchise, so I will go with a wrestling themed pack, or rather, wrestling themed season. So we'll throw in Armika, Hugo, Poison, and I know there's a luchador of some sort.
El Fuerte.
I don't know his
El
name.
Fuerte.
El Fuerte. So we'll throw in El Fuerte. And that'll be my wish list, all for the wrestling centric. I was about to say heroes, they're not heroes. Street fighters. That's a word.
Yeah, World Warriors.
Yeah.
Well, conveniently enough, I can agree to this pack of 3 grapplers and also a character who is pretty cool. Not a grappler, but still pretty cool.
I mean, if they can redeem El Fuerte in any game, it's gonna be this one.
Oh, yeah. People aren't going to be ready for a proper El Fuerte, though.
Yeah.
He is going to be a filthy, stinky, mean-spirited mix-up character if they ever bring him around.
I mean, Terry should just call him Ramon.
Yeah.
Like, Terry's win or lose quote. Like, Terry's win quote or El Fuerte's win quote against Terry should just imply that Terry has spent the entire match calling him Ramon.
What do you mean you aren't?
Yeah.
You can't fool me.
But yeah, although like I'm not sure how or why they would put in Eagle though, because Eagle's gimmick was the missed finers that he used to have, the turn down missed finers, and now Ed has missed finers.
That is true, though. It's not like there aren't already pre-existing instances of moves overlapping in Street Fighter 6, right?
True.
And I'm sure that they would find a way to make Eagle different, because Eagle, if Eagle gets brought back for Street Fighter 6, he's not going to look too much like his CVS2 self.
Sadly.
Because his CVS2 self was kind of basic.
Yeah. All right, Invincible.
Yes.
Invincible.
So this, I mean, there have been rumblings for quite some time that Double Helix, the KI 2013 boys, or at least the first season or two of KI 2013 boys, were up to something. This is kind of a surprise, though, particularly considering Omni-Man was just in another fighting game.
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons has apparently spent quite some time now in the booth, presumably having to be going, ooh, take this.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let him leave. You're stuck there.
They like the doors.
When we said Omni-Man, we want you to be all Omni on this man. I did notice during the trailer that while they didn't show Omni-Man from behind at any point, Invincible has an incredibly detailed ass.
Do you
So there is a non-zero. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you think they give Omni-Man like a parry counter thing, where he basically just does a perfect parry from Street Fighter if you time it right, and he does the pose, the Nicki Minaj pose?
Nobody should.
Because I remember one of the first, like, I think the first time I saw Omni-Man in MK12 was someone modded MK12, so whenever he parries you in the parry stance, he does it.
Yep. Fighting games. So they did show, I think it's really strange, though, the opening roster. Soon was pointing out they went with all, like, really kind of the most boring Invincible characters. And I do think it's odd that they showed off, like, oh, Rexplode's going to be in this game. Are we going to show you how he plays? No. He's going to be on the sidelines here, but we're not going to show you any gameplay because, he's got actually a kind of neat power set. He's just Gambit if Gambit was more of a cock.
Right.
So instead, let's show you Invincible and the other Viltrumites, who are basically just flying bricks, and also Adam Eve, who could hypothetically do some crazy stuff, but for now we're just going to show her throwing out pink lasers. And that's really quite odd, considering Invincible does have some more experimental superheroes than that.
Yeah.
And like they also showed, Bulletproof's here as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is Bulletproof not also a flying brick?
Yeah, he's basically Invincible Light.
He's basically Black Invincible.
He was for a time.
Oh, right, I forgot about that. Speaking of Black Invincible, why is the fucking fat bald black dude with a beer gut one of the characters there? Like, here, look at this guy.
Oh no, but I love him. The beer gut is amazing.
It's definitely pretty funny to have just here's Superman with a beer gut. But like, is that an actual character in the show? Is that not just some Viltrumite dude that gets fucking decapitated by Omni-Man at some point or something?
He's an actual character in the show. He's not he's not one of the most important ones. There's just a handful of Viltrumites that are slightly more important than Viltrumites that die immediately on screen. And
okay, because mine. Oh, go ahead.
I just said and off screen.
Okay. Because my understanding was, like, once they get into season 2, season 3, you see Omni-Man and, like, Alan the Alien kill several generic Viltrumites. And I was like, did they just pick one of the dudes that Omni-Man or Alan kills and goes like, yep, we're putting him in?
No. I don't know. Like, I don't know how much they'll keep in line with the comics, because even now they're making changes and whatnot. So it's not an exact 1-to-1, but yeah. This guy does eventually... He's slightly more important than people may immediately realize, but in the grandest scheme of things, not too important at all. But it's certainly not a wasted roster slot, I wouldn't say. It's just it to me, this feels more like the Dragon Ball Z problem, where it's a roster full of Gokus right now.
Yeah, there's definitely that feeling, yeah.
Because it's like Black Omni-Man is fine if you're a fan of that character, but it's just rotund Black Omni-Man. So yeah, I'll probably play him quite a bit, but still.
Also, why is Omni-Man in like the gray Viltrumite suit and not his Omni-Man suit?
I assume that's just for the trailer alone. And to kind of tie it in with the I guess he was technically wearing his Omni-Man suit at the finale, but I think they were more so using that suit to tie in with the narrative of Invincible versus the Viltrumites in this kind of what if scenario. I don't think it actually. I'm pretty positive that they wouldn't have him actually using the standard Viltrumite outfit as his default outfit once the game actually releases. I think that was just done for trailer purposes, unless there's a gameplay trailer that I did not see.
Are there going to be like 1,000 alternate costumes for Invincible himself, just of the various alternate dimension evil marks?
I think so. I mean, there's always a possibility that they Dragon Ball Z it and have a bunch of alternate marks be playables as well. But I'd imagine that he'll have quite a hefty sum of alternate reality mark costumes, cosmetics that they'll have unlockable or DLC.
Okay, Dragon Ball Z doing that, it's like, okay, because Japan just loves Goku and Vegeta and wants to see a billion of them. Like, it's pretty hard to imagine an Invincible fighting game that's not going to have, like, okay, here's Robot, here's Monster Girl, here's, Alan the Alien I just mentioned a bit ago. Here's Battle Beast, which I guarantee.
I was going to make a joke the other day and say, watch them make Battle Beast DLC, because that's like the coolest.
I would not be shocked.
Coolest character you could add to a fighting game, and it's like, yeah, there's no way they're going to have him in the base game at launch.
Pre-order,
season 1 DLC, something like that.
Season 1 of DLC, Battle Beast, Ronaldo. What are gonna be? And I don't fucking
Yeah, this
know.
is the rare instance of a podcast topic on FGA where poor Addy's been left behind and is just kind of left there scratching his ass like, well, they do be talking.
It do be happening.
What do you think the odds are that they are like gonna lock? Okay, Battle Beast DLC, Alan the Alien DLC. We're gonna fuck it, Wolfman DLC. We're throwing all the weirdos in that people want to play.
Right.
If you want to play something that isn't a fucking Viltrumite, pay up, buddy.
Pay up, sucker. We know you will.
The base roster is just loads of marks.
Yeah.
You want to play fucking robot?
I came across this image.
Pay up.
you want to play robot? Get a job, nerd.
Yeah.
All right, open up. Let's see. Yeah. Pink, check the text chat.
That is so on point.
And I have to emphasize again, the Rexplode was there. They didn't show him doing anything. And Adam Eve was there, but they only showed her basic moveset. There were two characters that could have creative movesets that they just didn't show.
Yep.
I like
That's
how
true.
in this image it's all Superman. There's Supergirl and Superboy.
Yeah.
He's also there.
Which, if Injustice is anything to go off of, Supergirl will be the much cooler character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I also like how the event with fucking Bakugo of all people. He really fits in here.
Oh shit. Oh boy. All right. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure there is left anything we can really much talk about.
We can
Hank,
talk
are you
about
down
how
to
the
play
gameplay
something,
looked.
or are you just here to be a pervert?
Both.
Be a pervert, but if you guys want to play something, I could probably be down. I don't think I've got anything else going on for the moment. At the moment.
Well, Addy, you've got anything calling your name?
Oh well, we should probably end FGA first.
Possibly.
So, fighting games were, I guess.
Were they now? Oh, I guess they were. Oh, geez, that went by quickly.